Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through sources to pull out the key insights just for you. Today, we're looking at this intriguing question. Are we leaving after 3 years in the Netherlands? Sounds dramatic, right? Like they're packing up. But what we found when we dove into the source is actually, well, it's quite different.
It really is, yeah. The main source here is a recent YouTube video. It's from the Buncharted channel, and it's very personal, pretty candid stuff, where they're answering questions from their viewers. So our mission, basically, is to get past that hooky title and really dig into what their expat life is like, the surprises, the adjustments, what actually makes the Netherlands home for them now. It's a real boots-on-the-ground perspective.
Okay, so that title then, Are We Leaving? Let's cut to it. What's the real story? Did they drag it out?
No, not at all. They were very clear, quite emphatic, actually. They are not leaving. Definitely not. And the really interesting part, instead of leaving, they're actually actively trying to buy a house there.
A house. Wow. Okay, that's a big step.
Huge step. Yeah. It really says something about how settled they feel.
So how's that going? The house hunt. And what are they looking for? Anything surprising in their criteria?
Well, they've been busy. Looked at 3 places already. Put an offer on one, but that didn't work out, got rejected. 2 were in Dordrecht, that's where they live now, and 1 was in Bergen-op-Zoom. And their list, pretty practical, really. Affordable, move-in ready, crucially near a train station.
Ah, the train station. That sounds very Dutch.
Exactly. They're okay with maybe a little bit of minor work, but they said they're not rushing it, just waiting for the right place. That focus on the train, though, yeah, that really shows they're thinking like locals, embedding themselves in the infrastructure.
It does, yeah. Thinking about daily life.
Yeah.
Did they share any, unique cultural things they've noticed, habits that stood out?
Oh, definitely. One thing they found, let's say, amusingly strange was the Dutch habit of saying, eat smakelijk.
Enjoy your meal.
Right. But they say it's universal. Like, anyone eating or even just holding food, strangers will say it, train conductors.
Really? Even conductors?
Apparently so. And they contrasted it with, generally not getting a simple good morning or hi from strangers on the street.
It's interesting, right, how politeness or connection shows up in different ways.
That is fascinating. Specific moments of connection around food, maybe, rather than just general greetings. And related to interactions, they mentioned something pretty significant about anti-immigrant comments.
Yeah, this was powerful. They said they have never experienced anything like that offline. Not once. Never. That's quite something, given the narratives you sometimes hear.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Suggests that, their lived day-to-day reality in their community might be quite different from what you see online or in broader discussions. Maybe a disconnect there?
A really important point.
Yeah.
So how do they actually connect with people? Make friends. They mentioned being homebodies.
They did, yeah. They describe themselves as mostly hanging out with each other, quite content at home. But they do enjoy meeting people when it happens. They've met some other American YouTubers, actually, like Alwyn and Ghislaine from Vet Gezellig. They just met them in person recently. And Mark from Frightcunning, and even some viewers like someone named Ramona. So, yeah, homebodies, but still open.
Okay, cool. And shifting gears a bit, what about food? Besides the 8 smakelijk moments, did they find any local gems or things they missed from the U.S.?
Oh, definitely found gems. They raved about a place in Dordrecht called La Focaccia.
La Focaccia, okay.
Yeah, specifically this bresaola brugi. That's bresaola, cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, arugula, and they think an arugula pesto. Sounds amazing. Plus, they said the place has great treats, deli stuff, too.
That sandwich does sound good. But what about cravings? What are they really missing from America?
Mexican food, that was the big one.
Ah, the classic expat craving.
Totally. And they were clear, it's not that Dutch restaurants don't try. It comes down to the ingredients, Things like avocados tasting different, jalapenos too, and finding specific peppers, like poblanos, really hard.
Right. It's those subtle flavor differences. You just can't quite replicate it sometimes.
Exactly. It highlights how those little things make such a difference to a familiar taste.
So true. Okay, they're settling in, buying a house, finding local spots. But what about seeing more of the country or even beyond? Any travel plans or dreams?
Yeah, they definitely have some plans. They really want to rent a boat, explore Friesland, and sneak, from the water. That's on the summer list.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Very Dutch adventure.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
But there's a constraint. A big one, actually.
Ooh, what's that?
It's their cat. Pants. Pants has been sick for quite a while, about 9 months, they said.
Oh, no, poor kitty.
Yeah. Apparently, Pants is doing okay now, happy, but needs a lot of medication. They just managed to lower the dose recently, which is good news. But it means they can't really be away from home for more than about 24 hours.
Ah, right. That definitely limits things. Wow. It really shows how personal stuff like a pet's health completely shapes your experience, doesn't it? Your whole map changes.
Absolutely. But they are trying, they said, trying to do more overnight trips, explore a bit further from Dordrecht when they can.
Good for them. Adapting. So when they do explore, did they mention any favorite Dutch cities? Besides Dordrecht, obviously.
They did. They gave a top 3 unranked, and yeah, excluding Dordrecht because they know it too well, they said. First up was Den Bosch.
Den Bosch, okay. Why that one?
Food, mostly. They mentioned amazing Wurstenbroodjes from Keiliker, Gusto Pasta, and of course, Boschebullen. Plus, they just found it beautiful and loved the Udeldonk atmosphere.
Boeteldonk. What's that?
It's the name for Den Bosch during Carnival. It has this whole unique, traditional festival vibe, very specific to the city.
Ah, cool. Local knowledge. What were the other 2 cities?
Second was Deventer. They just said it's a really beautiful city, and apparently it's a popular spot for Dutch people themselves for overnight stays. Good tip.
Deventer. Got it. And number 3.
Maastricht. And again, food was a huge factor here. They actually said their favorite restaurant in the entire Netherlands is there. Café Chic.
Café Chic in Maastricht. Favorite in the country. High praise.
Right. So yeah, Den Bosch, Deventer, Maastricht. Food and atmosphere seem key for them.
Interesting choices.
Yeah.
And what about Amsterdam? It's often the default assumption for expats. What was their take?
Yeah, they addressed that directly. Said they specifically didn't want to live there when they moved and still don't, just find it too busy. But they were fair. They acknowledged it has great things, amazing museums. They mentioned staying on a cool lightship there once, unique food you can't easily get elsewhere. So, balanced. Just not for them to live in.
Makes sense. It sounds like they're really immersing themselves. What about, like, media? Are they watching Dutch TV or YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Their media habits definitely show immersion. They watch Dutch YouTube channels pretty regularly. Vet gezellig gezoetenmening and one called Wie gaat ook weer.
What's that last one?
It means, now you know that too, basically. Does little mini explainers on Dutch stuff, like cube houses in Helmond or some NATO bunker. Fun facts. They also sometimes watch Lubach, which is kind of like a Dutch John Oliver, and Nas is makkelijke taal, news in simple language.
Use in simple language. That's smart for practicing.
Totally. And one of them actually reads NRC, a major newspaper specifically for news and translation practice.
Wow. Reading NRC for practice? That's serious dedication.
It really is. Shows real commitment to integrating, doesn't it? As for TV, they don't have cable, but one of them admitted they love watching Rotterdam 112 whenever they're in a hotel.
Huh. Like a local reality cop show?
Something like that, yeah. And their Dutch proficiency, they rated it good, think.
Good, I think.
Exactly. They know their pronunciation needs work, but feel it's getting better every day. Consistent effort paying off.
It sounds like it. So, looking forward, what's next on their agenda? More exploring.
Seems like it. They mention wanting to explore Belgium more, especially for the food. And also keep finding those, lesser-known spots in the Netherlands. Not even necessarily cities, just interesting places. So, yeah, looking forward to the rest of summer, fall, winter plans. Just continuing to explore and understand their adopted home.
It's a great journey. They mentioned a question they get all the time, which is probably true for most expats. Why did you move to the Netherlands? Why do you think that question comes up so much?
Well, it's natural curiosity, isn't it? People want to understand the motivation behind such a huge life change. Maybe they're thinking about it themselves or just trying to relate. And for anyone wanting their full answer, they actually pointed out they did a whole 30-minute episode about it on their other podcast, Bun Chatted. The whole backstory is there.
Good to know. So wrapping this up, we started with this kind of clickbaity question, are we leaving? But the reality is they're buying a house, deeply adapting, really falling for the place. This whole deep dive gives such a richer picture than you'd get from headlines, right? A real nuanced look at expat life.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic example of how those personal things, the cat's health dictating travel, or noticing tiny cultural details like eat smakelijk versus no hello, how those things really shape your connection to a place. It really makes you pause and think, doesn't it? What are those seemingly small details, maybe in your own life or a place that actually reveal so much about its character or about your own connection to it?